Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And if it's your first time, thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for coming through. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up, y'all? It's Jermaine.
And it's Raw, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and also make sure you check out our social media pages at the Friends Pod, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and go check out the merch.
Let's start off like this.
I'm going to go right into it.
Mm.
They don't even got the camera on them no more. All right, the
Sick.
race is over. All right, she won. Shout out to her. Oh, they still finishing?
Yes. Ah,
She skipped
That is
on.
too funny.
that's the definition of. Do you know who my dad is?
You think
Like
so?
that's it in real life. Yeah, that's nepotism.
Wait, so have we found out who this is? Like, look at this. She's already getting burnt right here. Like,
And
burnt.
this was how many seconds into the race? Like,
Not even
if
two.
you go, I don't know if it's in this clip, but if you see her trying to get in the blocks, she can't even get in the blocks. Like, this girl's never ran competitively ever.
If you notice, everybody's face is down, head down, and she's kind of just looking at the world like, what the fuck am I doing here? She taking it all in.
This is crazy.
But they
She's
did
not an
confirm
athlete.
it is nepotism. So she's the niece of the chairwoman of Somalia's National Athletics Federation.
hmm Really?
But it's
Okay.
obvious. I don't think we even needed that to be confirmed. Like you see the race and it's clear what's up.
Yeah, because why would they even put her?
Like there's nobody faster, no woman who races faster than her in all of Somalia. Come on. Come on. It's not even like, oh, she was a little slower than the rest. Like, you're telling me there's nobody who could have been more competitive? She didn't have the right gear on, like the
Like,
layers,
Nah,
girl.
she had the gear on.
this is not running gear. She got too much on.
Like, yeah, she did get a record though for in the Guinness World Records of being the slowest ever
You're
to
100
ever
lying.
run the
meters.
race. Yeah,
hmm
she got the record for that.
Shout out to
Wait,
her.
the slowest like professional level race. Is
Yeah,
that
like
what it?
yeah, in professional level, like she's the slowest ever.
I just don't like how she's strolling right here though. Like I feel like she was trying to go for the slowest. Cause look how she's not even
Look at
trying
her.
at that point.
Look at her just skip at the end, just like she just like a little skip.
What I want to know is like, okay, so her aunt put this up to put her up to this.
hmm
What was the backstory? Was she like, man, auntie, I just really want to go to China? And she was like, oh, I gotta wait for you to go to China. Or was she like, I've been in the gym, like I'm really getting in the gym, I got some speed on me. Like, what was the backstory for her aunt to be like, yeah, let's make this happen?
Mm. I don't know. I think it could probably be the beginning. Like I just wanted to go to China type shit. Cause like
Yeah.
there's no like it couldn't have been nothing related to athletic ability. Nothing
Mm-mm.
like it's just like here. I want to be on TV. I want to break a
Here's
record.
here's the other part I don't get. Let's say, okay, like I said, it's clearly nepotism. If your aunt is gonna give you the chance to go, wouldn't you practice once you found out that you were gonna go? Like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna beat
hmm
these runners, but let me at least figure out how to get in the blocks.
Yeah, let me do something. Let me just make sure I had the right attire on, like
Yes,
something.
you can do anything.
Like she looked like she
Yeah,
just
that
get up off the couch. Like was just like, all right, let go.
yeah, she was not prepared for that. Even if she
Mm-mm.
did practice, like the time wouldn't have got that much better. Like, I really feel like
Mm-mm.
Jermaine, you could beat her.
I think so.
Like 20
And I'm
seconds
not
for
fast.
100 meters.
What's
Like
the
that's
what's
not
the regular
even
time?
like she don't even work out at all. Like you could tell. Like
Mm-mm.
So
No,
the normal 100-meter time is the average for all age group is 14 seconds.
she's
Yeah,
at. Was it 20 or 21 that she ended up at?
I
I think there
think
was middle schoolers who were doing
20,
like 12 seconds.
over
Like
20 seconds.
Dang.
Yeah, she was like I said, she was strolling though. Like at the end, like I feel like you got to finish strong. She didn't even try to finish strong.
No,
Like
she was just happy it was over.
yeah, she was like, thank God. Like I can't
I
even
feel like
see them folks no more.
she was really discouraged by halfway through.
Oh yeah, you saw when she quit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I just wanted to start off with that. That shit would just that tickled me when I seen it. That shit. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
she
But
don't
was
think
like,
that's gonna
"Fuck."
get old for a while.
for a
Like that
long
video makes me
time.
laugh every time I see it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, are we gonna do date me doc still, or how we feeling about that?
Yeah, we can talk about the Date Me docs.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into that then. Jermaine, you want to intro that?
Yeah. So there's a new level in digital dating now. It's called Date Me Docs. So some people who are doing are people who are like tired of the apps are actually creating these like long form, almost like personal ads.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a resume, but it's specifically for dating. So a full page where you talk about your likes, your dislikes, you know, your backstory, what you're looking for, all the kind of quirky little elements of you. So people are creating these docs in like literally like a Google Doc, um, making it view only, and then either sharing it with like their social network, sharing it with people that they know, or like sharing it with people that they're interested to let them know, like, hey, if you want to talk to me, like this is what's up, this is what I'm about. And they're trying to do this as a new way to meet people and to date instead of using the apps.
It's a good idea. Like it seems cool, I guess. Um, I'm always like for people to meet new people who are single. Like, I guess why not?
And you know what? Let me go ahead and share my screen for a second so we can show the people examples of what these look like. Because I think that plays into it a little bit. But if you take
Would
a
y'all
look at
join
it,
something like that? Like
uh,
make a doc?
yeah, actually, I would. Because it looks like almost like a website, basically, that's just all about you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It seems professional.
Yeah. So one of the things that they're seeing in the trend is that like most of the people who are doing this are people who are like already working in the tech industry. So they're kind of, going above and beyond and actually making these little profiles. But personally, yeah, I would do it. Um, I've done the dating apps thing before. And me personally, I feel like my interests are so weird and random that it was kind of hard to like summarize who I am in a dating app.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think if I could literally have 1,000 words to write whatever I wanted about me, it would make it a lot easier to like show who I am more accurately. Let somebody really know what they're getting into.
I just feel like I don't see the difference between putting this on your Tinder bio or your Hinge bio versus like putting it on a document. Like you're still gonna meet damn near the same people. I think my confusion with it is like how do you distribute it out to who you want to get it to? Like how do you get the document out to the people that could be your potential, next partner? That's my confusion because like why not just put like I don't know how long the bio is in Tinder and all that stuff like, but why not just paste that in the Tinder bio?
Um, so first going back to your question about like how people finding this, some people are making like databases where they're like putting these all together so more people can find them. Um, I haven't been on the apps in a while, but like a lot of times, like you have kind of like a limited amount of space you could use
Hmm.
for, you know, talking about yourself. So I feel like that's why people like this is so that there's not that pressure of I gotta be cute and witty in one sentence. I got a whole, you know, page and multiple paragraphs to tell about myself.
Yeah.
Hmm. I still feel like most people are gonna pay attention to the pictures. I think when people go to a dating website, that's the first thing they're really looking at is like how the person looks, and if they're gonna swipe yes or no. That's the
Hmm.
first thing. Um, Having the complete bio though, I do think it gives out a lot more detail. But me personally, if I was on there, I still wouldn't care about reading all of that. Like I would just want it to be. I like the small bio like of a Tinder or something like that. I only need a couple of sentences, and then we can have a conversation. I don't need to read an entire page from you about your life. It's like I want that to be a part of the conversation that we're gonna have, not you write it all down like right from the beginning. Like I want to ask those questions, like what do you like to do? Like I don't want that to already be there.
So I'm curious, like now that people are kind of moving away from, at least with this trend, away from Tinder, more towards like this kind of stuff, Jamie Docs, like what would be the ideal type of dating app experience for you guys? It's like you just said, Rob, like the pictures are kind of like more important and you want more questions like in person. Is that like what would you guys prefer from a dating app?
I feel like speed dating is probably the best way. That idea of dating, actually having the face to face, a conversation for about a minute, getting to talk. You get a lot of just general conversation and whether you're gonna vibe or not. That's like all that really matters to go on a date, whether you vibe. And then a lot of those extra details to me don't really matter until you really get to know the person.
Mm-hmm. But you Matt? Oh, you're mute.
I would say ideally on for an app, if it had to be an app, um, there's a lot of different. Let's talk about the bad things about apps first. I think, like Rob was saying, whereas like the first thing that you look at is the picture. Like that's the first thing that you see. Which I mean, obviously, if you meet somebody in person, the first thing you see is how they look. But I think this swiping left and swiping right, swipe left, swipe right type thing. I think that's not necessarily a thing that's it can help you if you're trying to hook up with somebody. Like, oh, I think they sexy, so let's hook up. But like, it don't really help in finding a partner. Which I feel like the date me doc is like you really trying to find a partner. So I would take away that aspect, the swiping aspect. I will also I think it's interesting. I think it's a Hinge or Bumble where like the girl has to message back fat or first or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Bumble.
yeah, that's Bumble. So like, I think that's something of that nature. If you could do something of that nature, where it's like,
And don't that seem weird to y'all that
that the
the
girl has.
lady is the one
Mhm.
that makes the move first? Doesn't that seem weird
Yeah,
and
it's
not
weird.
typical?
It's definitely weird. Um, but I think they do that just so like just to weed out the people. Like, 'cause I feel like dudes just be thirsty and just be sending random shit. So it's like, in order for us to really have a conversation, let the woman initiate it first, and then they can have a conversation versus a dude just being like, "Hey, hey, hey, hey,"
We
like
gonna
five
put that
times.
on guys. We're gonna put that on
Yep,
them. Like that's
that's
the people who
around.
do that.
That's around. You know, come on, bro. Like you know us. Like we just stupid
I don't
and
know us. I don't know if that's what you know.
you a man. What do you mean? Like you know what you
I've
done.
never
Like,
seen anyone do that.
never seen nobody be like, "Hey,
No, the thing
hey,
is like
hey." Like,
if we both liked each other, we both should message anyways because that's
agreed.
like the first thing. So you both have to match.
Hmm.
So if you like me or whatever, and I put hey and you don't respond, it's just like what was the point of even matching in the first place? It's like this was a waste of time anyways. You would just
I
move
agree.
on to the next person.
I agree. Some people don't look at it like that. Some people they gonna keep trying. Like, hey, oh, did you not see my last message? Hey, hello again. What are you doing today? Like type shit like that. Like some
With
people do
no
that.
like message at all from the person, just like
Yes,
see,
See,
I never seen that. I don't know why you're saying men do that. Like that's really weird to me.
men do that.
I think that gets to what I would change about dating apps. Um, if I had to like update dating apps to be in a more, I think, beneficial state, ideally, you should only get served a certain number of people a day, like curated people. I think you should be able to go on there and be like, yo, I'm looking for um, a man who looks is looking for a serious relationship, and maybe we have these three common interests. Like he also likes music and trying new restaurants and traveling, and so I only get 5 matches
Hmm.
or possible matches who fit that criteria for that day. And then to your same point, Rod, like if we don't message each other within a certain period of time, like they should go away. I think the issue of dating apps is there become too many options and you just feel like there's always somebody else. I'm just going to keep scrolling, keep swiping. And I don't really have to invest in actually having small talk, making conversation with these people because, you know, if one passes, especially from a woman's perspective, if I don't get this one, there's always going to be another one. And I just don't think that's a healthy way to look at people. What I do think is interesting about the dating docs. So I was looking at their, this guy made a dating docs uh, database.
And
And
to get to that like point you just talked about, what about filters on dating websites where you can put in a filter of maybe the age, the distance, um, some things they may like to do? Don't some dating websites have those kind of things that you can put in there?
yeah, I've done the filters before, but I've never been able to do it for interest. So it was like, oh, this person needs to be within 20 miles of me and, 25 to 40. But like, as a woman in particular, you just see still so much. It's like, I still wouldn't even consider 90% of these guys. Like, for various reasons, not even just about looks, but like, just so many different factors. And it would be nice if you could more like curate it just a little bit.
But why did you match in the first place if you wouldn't
These
even
aren't guys.
consider 90% of them? Like, why would you even match in the first
Oh,
place?
these guys aren't who I was matching with. You asked about filters. I was saying like when I set up the filters, it's still 90% of the guys I wouldn't date.
Okay.
And there is
So
some apps.
the 10% though,
Hmm.
um, are like those people that's messaging you. Have they messaged you and you didn't respond? Like how Matt's saying.
Um, the last dating app I used was either Hinge or Bumble, and the girl had to message first. So all of them, like, we did have some correspondence because I had to initiate it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you actually like initiating first. That's why you joined that app rather than like any of
No.
the other ones.
Actually, not. I did not like initiating first. Because to me, like as a woman, part of what I look for in a man is like I like somebody who's funny, who's witty, who has something smart to say. And so I would send like, try to send cute responses back
So
and
you
we
try to
just
send witty and funny, like what you would
yeah.
expect for you. You send it to the man.
Yes. And some guys like
What's
just
up?
don't have that. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I wish I had have known from the jump that you were just going to be a sup because otherwise I wouldn't have put any thought into what I would have sent to you. Like
Hmm.
I spent 10 minutes trying to find something cute to say to you and I just get a sup. What? Boy, bye. I'm match automatically.
That's crazy. Um, I think that damn, I forgot what the fuck I was about to say, but damn, what was I gonna say? Something about date. Oh no, there is apps where so like to your question, right? Where it's like oh the filters and stuff like that. There is apps. I want to say it's either like Meet Up, or it might be like Plenty of Fish, where you'll fill out all this stuff. Where it's like this is my religion. This is am I a
Mm,
smoker or non-smoker? I have pets. All these types of things. Like you answer them, and then it gives you like a compatibility percentage.
Yeah, I feel
Um.
like a lot of the
oh,
dating
that's dope.
websites have those. Like the not the tenders and the thing you swipe on, but if you go to like actual like
Mhm.
websites online,
Yeah.
they'll have
Mm,
more filters and the interests and things of that nature. I
But
okay.
then
think. I don't
even
know.
but to
Don't listen to
Jermaine's
me.
point, I've had that same experience as Jermaine. Like I look at the girls and they be like, like we compatible in ways, but like
But
Like,
not for real, for real. Like in
yeah, like,
person, this would not be a vibe.
yeah, like I don't know how me and you would look next to each other. Like, I don't really like, you know, but like it
Do you
seemed like we
have to
might be
be
people.
like completely compatible for you to have the relationship or like
No,
date that person? Like,
no.
why does it have to be completely compatible?
I think it helps to
Or
have some commonalities. You know what I mean? Like everything, obviously there has to be room for compromisation when it comes to, being in a relationship. But I think there is some things that may be deal breakers or deal makers for people. So like there are some things where you need to be compatible. Like kids,
no,
like
that's crazy. Like, what are our like deal breakers? Like on the
you go
profile,
first.
like what me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Oh man, I
Look,
was
try
gonna
to put
say
niggas on
like
the spot. Go ahead.
no, because I'm like immediately I'm thinking of looks and stuff like that. Like I said, like if I'm on a
Hmm.
profile, I'm looking at, I'm like, all right, I don't want Lizzo. Like I know that straight up, like
Hmm.
off the rip. The next thing I'm looking at, like me personally, I'm looking like how well off is she? Is she educated or is she like a rat? Like, because that kind of gives me an idea how much money I'm about to spend on this person.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm just starting off on that. What do y'all think?
Deal breakers. So from an outside perspective, this is gonna sound like a silly one, but like grammar is really important to me. And it sounds really silly, but like I think you need to know how to like properly present yourself. So if I'm on a dating app and you have like spelling mistakes or we start messaging and you're like flat out spelling stuff wrong, I can't tell what you're talking about. Like, I'm sorry, that's a deal breaker for me. Mm-mm.
So slang.
Slang is fine.
No, but saying like your, but the other your, or there and the other there, like that shit.
Yes. And not like once because you were typing fast, but like you just continually speak that way and type that way. I'm like, oh, you just don't even know that this is wrong. That's a no for me.
That is unattractive. That is so true. Damn. Cause it'd be
Because
like, damn, did you finish high school, ma'am?
that's what it starts to make me think. Because I'm like, how did you become a fully fledged adult? Like, finish your education, get a job, and not know how to use certain
Hmm.
words. It to me kind of tells me like what sort of spaces you're in. If I'm the first girl who's ever said to you, like, oh, actually, like, that's the wrong there,
Hmm.
that's a problem. Somebody should have told you that before
Ha-
me.
what if? Have you ever told somebody that and like they blew up on you, or like they made you, or they felt some type of way about you? You were correcting them.
I have. I have. I'm trying to remember the exact situation, but I've had guys say to me like, "Oh, you talk so proper over text." It's like, well, because you're reading this and you need to be able to know how to read it. Like, yeah, I put a period here because that's the end of the sentence.
Hmm.
I've had guys be mad at me because I like use proper grammar over text. Like, oh, you so proper over text. And I was just like, oh yeah, no, no, no.
Like, look where we at. Like, look where we coming at. Like, I hate seeing a post. Like, a lot of rappers, they'll make a post where it's like a long sentence,
And not a period in sight.
no periods, nothing. Like that type of shit is very aggravating. I would say for me,
I was like, you really want proper on the text? Like,
It doesn't have
I
to be
don't even.
perfect, but like, have you ever seen somebody spell like I'm trying to think like of who posts really bad? Like I don't know if it's Boosie, but certain
mhm,
rappers you'll see their posting like I don't even know what this says. That's what
Yeah, I
I don't
get that.
like. If it's
Yeah, if they
slang
just
or
really just
like
don't know how to spell,
yeah.
you can tell for sure.
or like format
But
sentences. Like
I
that's
don't know.
that's what
Like
it is for me.
if you're doing a lot of sentences like that, like I don't even want to read that long of a message for you to have all that proper punctuation. Like
Hmm.
I feel like I'd rather you just send me like a couple messages, like separate, like one
And
thought,
I'm cool
click a
with that.
thought.
Oh,
Like
I
Yeah,
see.
that's
Yeah.
cool too.
Hmm. But still, like
like
put a
don't put like
period,
a
put
whole
commas.
paragraph like with and then proper punctuation. I'm gonna be like, man, this is
It's
like
like
you should have just called me. Like at this point, like
right,
if you're gonna do all
exactly.
that, like I'm like, pick up the phone. Like this
Right.
is too much. It's like okay,
I
cool.
I wish I
I'll be
could
there.
Man, I wish I could pull up one of these texts so I could show you guys what I mean. Like some of the stuff, it's like it was legit scary. I'm like, I don't even know literally what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the words are so misspelled. The spell check couldn't come and help you. Like,
It's
damn.
bad. It's bad. No, that is. I do agree that is unattractive. I'll say something else for me that's a deal breaker is I think that this is kind of a hard question to answer because I feel like the deal breakers happen when I start to get to know the person. Like obviously I want them to
Yeah.
look, a certain way or like have a certain type of personality, stuff like that. But I think the deal breakers come when I get to know them and I learn that they dirty or if I learn that they uh like don't I don't know. I can't even think of no specific examples right now. But
Let's start with the first one, dirty, right?
okay, yeah.
So are you just saying like she don't pick the clothes up off the floor,
Yeah.
or the dishes ain't done, like when you walked in, or like what's dirty to
Like
you?
what
For
part
I
is
see
ex-
a
too
I see a
far?
cockroach like just
Oh
going
nah,
past
nah,
me.
nah. We're not doing cockroaches. We're not doing bugs. Nah, we're not doing that. But I'm
Oh,
saying like,
or like gnats, just like
yeah,
because it's thing.
which is
Yeah.
crazy because a gnat just flew by my face. So I should probably shut up. Like literally. Oh, but so my
Like you ain't
example
got
is
no vinegar, no nothing.
I got some vinegar right there. That's the crazy thing. This shit just not working. But nah,
The Nats are really out this year though. They aren't messing around, man.
I know that motherfucker really hit me in the face though. Like this, I'm like they getting man. It's like New
Like
York rats almost. I say like for example, if I have my own place, she has her own place. Like obviously my place is gonna be my place. But if I go over there and it's just like you got a ring around the tub and like you got hella dishes in the thing, like you don't keep up with yourself better than I keep up with myself. Like and I barely keep up with myself. So if you're doing worse than me, then that's a turn off basically. Or that's like a deal breaker to me.
So
you a
basically,
really
she
clean
can't be
person
dirtier
though.
than you.
No, I'm not. Wait, what you say, Jermaine?
So basically, she can't be dirtier than you.
Right. And I'm not crazy dirty, but like I probably ain't did my floors in like a month. And like I need to go do my floors right quick. But like if you ain't never did your floors, you've been there 2 years, like nah, I can't do that. Or cars too. Like I hate dirty cars. Like if I gotta move shit over with my foot to like get in the car, like nah, I don't like that type of shit. But those are like the type of deal breakers for me.
I'm the same way too. I'm not like one of those people who's like quick to cut somebody off. So I don't have those like dramatic deal breakers like, oh, kids, deal breaker. Oh,
Hmm.
they drink, deal breaker. But it is more stuff like as I get to know you as a person that like can be a deal breaker. Like I don't like dirty fingernails. That is a deal breaker. So if I notice you have dirty fingernails, no. Mm-mm. Same thing with dirty cars. Like I feel like as a man, you should keep your car clean. And like I keep my car like decently clean. If your car is dirtier than mine, no.
Hmm. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to ask for. Like Jermaine said, it's nothing super crazy. Now I would say though, like that, because we was talking about dating docs in general. I would say like, what would I'm trying to think like, what would I even put on my dating doc that I would want people to know? Like, obviously your age, like where you from, like what you do, maybe, but like, what's some other extra things that I would tell people? I would probably tell people like, oh, I'm into music, or like,
Ooh, can we write your dating docs? I know what I would say for you for sure.
no, we can't do that. We're not about to write my dating doc. um,
I for you because music is such a big part of your life. I would say like listing out maybe like 20 of your favorite artists. Like, hey, if
mhm,
you listen to if these things sound appealing to you, like you would go to shows to see these people, you listen to this, like there's a good chance we might get along.
mhm.
Like, hey, I like to go out to these types of places, but also like I do not like going out to these types of places. I don't want to be the last person there. I want to leave the bar at 1:45, not 2 o'clock. Like
12:45. Maybe 11:45. Let's be
that's
for
really what I wanted to say.
real. Like, let's be for real. Um, what's interesting
You
about that
gotta
is
like the
like,
basic things. You gotta like wings and
mhm,
Yep.
like just chilling out. Like,
That's
stop
that's
asking me
all
to
I
go so many places. Like,
that's all I like to do. I just want to be at the crib, like for real. Like I don't want to interact with people in general.
And that's what you
Oh,
would say in the dating doc. Like, I really don't want to interact with people. And to be honest, I don't even want to be making this doc.
bingo. No, but that's the thing though. Like, how could you put that in a document? Like, that's not really. I feel like that won't necessarily draw somebody towards you. Like, oh, this motherfucker's a hermit. Like, let me go talk to him. Like, that's not really. That don't draw people to you. So it's like,
I
I
think it
want
would.
I think so too. The right girl for sure.
the right girl.
A
Yeah,
lot
Because,
but
are a lot of people who are in the house a lot, so
that's
I
true.
think it
mm-hmm,
would draw
That
them
is true.
who
That is
like being in
true.
the house.
yeah.
I would just say like how much of you should you really put in to the document? Eh, The reason I'm asking this is because like just because I love music or just because y'all love what y'all love, does that mean that your partner has to love it the same? Like I think it can make the relationship easier, but I don't know if I would necessarily just like put all my shit in there. Like, oh, I love music, I love to go kayaking, I love to go bike riding. Like I don't know if
There
I would
are
necessarily
big
put that.
points though.
Hmm.
Um, like whether you like to go outside and do things is very important in what you like to
That
do
agreed.
because that would be the things that you would do when you both are free or open,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of want something to match because you want to hang out with each other. So that's kind of a big deal. So you will want to put that on your bio, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Or music. If you guys go to festivals or concerts, hopefully you will like similar music, so you can go to those things together. Especially if you like music a lot. Or maybe there's festivals that have all different kinds of music, and you guys can just figure it out. It might not be that big of a deal.
I wouldn't expect women to like the music I like, to be honest. But go ahead, Jermaine. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say I've seen some people say really interesting things about um there used to always be that phrase like opposites attract, and I've heard a lot of people say like relationship folks say like yes opposites attract like for a period of time, but like in terms of like relationships staying together you have to have similarities. And so like to Ra's point, like you're going to want to be with somebody who wants to do the same stuff as you. If she always wants to be out and you always want to be in the house, like eventually you're going to live separate lives. If you want to go to shows and she never wants to go to shows, you're going to be going to shows by yourself with other people. So
Hmm.
I think it is important to like get a certain level of, similarities, at least in some of the basics in order to be able to have a sustainable relationship.
No, I do agree with that. I do. Um, no, I just find this shit interesting that the fact that like I'm just looking at this data and doc directory, and it's just like it's literally another dating app.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at it too, and here's one thing that was really interesting to me.
Hmm.
Um, is the dating doc directory, ooh, it's hard to say, is more than 70% male.
Oh, really? Okay.
Um, and the guy who created the database was giving the reasons why. But I think it kind of makes sense to me why it would be more male than female, because when we were talking about dating
We're
apps, like
more
you
expressive.
well, I think
Right.
men are more visual. So like you said, Rod, like when men go on dating apps, they're gonna look for the physical first. Versus for women, when we're looking to date, we want to see like, oh, is he funny? Is he smart? Is he witty? Does he seem kind? And you don't see that in pictures. So I
Hmm.
think that's part of why men have a harder time on dating apps is like women aren't looking for that. They're looking for like you to kind of get your shit off. And so like
I feel
the
like that's cap. Women aren't looking like at the guy, like how they look first. That's what you're trying to
um
say.
no,
You're
no,
trying
no.
to
I'm
say
not
they
saying
look at
that. Oh, I'm not
like
saying that.
you got to be attracted to anyone to swipe. Like first off, before you even give a fuck about like what they like, you have to like what they look like.
Agree.
That's
So
my
can
opinion,
I
though.
can I tell the brutal truth?
Please.
Most men are unattractive.
Wait, why you say that though?
90% of men are unattractive.
Why you
I
say
feel like
what you?
majority of women like they like other women.
Hmm?
Like they're
That's even
always
crazier than what Jermaine said.
like they're always liking each other pictures. They're always in the comments. Oh, you look good. Like you look sexy, and like this whole pussy popping music, and like they're really on it. I feel like women love women. They just like
If you don't
they.
get Andrew Tate going somewhere, man. What are you talking about, man?
I mean, she's just gonna throw shit out there too. I'm gonna put my opinion out there as
But
well.
that, but
So you just make a hot takes. I'm like, okay.
The hottest.
but that hot take wasn't even related to my hot take, or maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say, like, especially because I've been on the apps, I see most of the guys kind of look the same. It's very, very, very rare you see like a Chris Brown, like even in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very few men who look significantly better than other men. Most men kind of look some version of the same, kind of dress
Mm.
some version of the same. You very rarely see like, oh wow, he's dressed really nice and he's super attractive and he's really in good shape. So what women aren't looking at that for the man to stand out. You're looking for his other attributes. Like, is he successful? Is he smart? Is he funny? Those are the things that you kind of want because they all kind of look the same.
So it sounds like it's rare to find somebody that's like, oh, like I look at attractiveness first with him, so I'm just gonna look at
Yes,
other things.
exactly.
Interesting. Um, when you say attractive, what you so you mean like literally facially, or do you mean just swag in general? And be
Both.
honest. Okay. Damn, that's a hard pill to swallow. Males, if y'all listening, please, I want to hear your opinion. Like she just
But
said, go
I
ahead.
kind of want to get into that like video of the guy who got stood up.
Oh no. We should. We definitely should.
I was just gonna end it on like,
Uh-huh.
even if you look at how women talk about men, like it's just not me who says it. Women, if you ask women like, what do you like? A lot of women say like, oh, I like medium ugly guys. I
I've
like
heard
him to
that.
be
Yeah.
like kind of ugly. And
Hmm.
like little baby, like he's not attractive. He's not a handsome man. Nothing about him is handsome. But women still like
That's
him. He
funny.
got money, he got swag. Like I'm sure he's probably a cool person. So that's what I mean. Like we look for those things because most of the options aren't Chris Brown, they're little babies.
So, ladies, I want y'all to take a look at this video I'm about to show. Like, if this was your option, if this was your option right here, I want to know what y'all would say. Let's get into it right quick. I'm sorry, let me unmute it. Sorry, guys.
I don't know what to say.
1 second, 1 second. Let's get into it. I gotta unmute it again. Okay, hold on.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been
Those
consistent
look
for
Bad
nice.
flower.
2 weeks,
Oh,
trying to get
Those
to
look
know
nice.
what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time.
Fire.
You know, I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just
I'm
get stood
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at him, but that shit just funny. Like the voice breaking, like it's great acting. It's definitely great acting. I don't know if he's for real or not, but does anybody have any thoughts before I finish this video? Not yet.
I'm gonna save them for the end.
Okay. All right. Let me finish this off and we'll get into it.
Like my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like alien dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love.
You
To
right
be
Why
though.
is the place
kind to one
booming
another.
like that though? Like the music, like it just, like it sounds like they're having a ball.
And he not though. He the only one that's just having a terrible time. Damn, bro.
I mean,
Whew, shit. Go ahead.
obviously it's very sad. Like, yes, I was laughing because it also is funny, but it is really sad.
It
I do
is.
feel for him, and it is hard. Like, it's hard trying to date today. I think it's harder than it needs to be. That's for sure. But the idea that you like still went to the restaurant and ate your meal and still had the flowers and you got the music in the background and you're just standing there halfway in tears talking into your phone by yourself, that is really funny. Like, go home and record this video. Get in the car at least.
Like you hear
You
boom boom
think?
pow in
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
background and shit. Huh?
You think he should have went home? You don't think he should have just finished his meal? At least he already made the reservations at a nice place. He shouldn't eat. Like, I feel like that's the least you should do. Maybe maybe a takeout. I don't know. I feel
I,
like
I just imagine like the waiter or the bartender like, oh, is somebody coming to join you? And you're like, no.
Right.
Oh, those flowers are beautiful. Is that for your date? No.
This is sick. It's sick as hell.
Like, I just
Oh my
that's why I'm
god.
like, nah, you didn't have to go home right away, but you should have went to a different restaurant.
I wish he would have
100%.
posted his messages, like the text messages to her. Like that would have been a sight to see.
I mean, shit.
On the
She might have
way,
blocked
I'm
him.
here. I'm over there right
I'm on
now.
my
I'm waiting.
way. I'm leaving out now. I'll be there in 20. I just parked. I'm at the table. What do you have on? I'm at the door. I'm looking for you. Yeah, no.
You
It's
said you drive
traffic.
a Impala. I don't see no Impala
I think
outside.
did I
You
just see
sick?
you drive past?
I saw a girl walking around. I didn't know if that was you or not.
Yo? Question mark. Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, if
There's
you
too
watch
many
this,
layers to it.
if you watch this, bro, I'm so sorry. Like we don't
Me
really
too.
mean to laugh at you. It's just funny how you presented it. I will say if it was me, I wouldn't have even started the dinner because if I already knew she wasn't coming, like I'm not gonna sit there and eat by myself with the flowers. Cause like Jermaine said, I don't want nobody, the waiter, like, oh, are you having someone else? Like I don't want to hear that. That's gonna make me feel worse. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
I
what
don't
a
know. It
lucky
sounded like it
girl.
was
Those are
booming.
beautiful roses.
like wow, well, she must be a special lady. Like, like not no more.
Hmm.
Um, is this
The
too much
Yeah, I
lady
for a
don't
is now
know.
first
a
date?
tramp.
Right. Is this too much for a first date? Like flowers, um, asking or making a reservation for two, like at a restaurant. Like, is that too much, or should it be something more simple to you?
It's maybe a little too much. It's
I think
maybe a
so.
little too much. If it's somebody you don't know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
different if this is the girl at your job and you kind of been like crushing on her for a minute and you've built a rapport, or it's somebody who's already in your sphere. Okay, but like if I don't know you and we met on an app, it's a lot because it adds a lot of pressure from both of their ends. Like
Mm-hmm.
he seemed like he had a lot of pressure for this date to go really well and for her to like him and be quote unquote his person. And also it would have set her up for the pressure of like, oh well, even if I show up and we go out and we eat, if I don't like you, I might feel like, dang, well he spent all this money on dinner and he bought me flowers, so I at least gotta go out with him again. Like personally, I think it's okay for a first date to be something more casual, more low key. Like, hey, let's go grab a drink. Hey, let's go get ice cream and go on a walk. Hey, let's go and have a picnic at the park, and I'll bring a couple bottles of wine. I don't think it always has to be something super intense day one.
I agree. I think
I think
dinner
it depends
for.
on the guy for sure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't think it's that much that he did. Only thing he did was make reservations to go out and eat, drink. The music sounded like it was booming. It seemed like it was a good vibe there. It wasn't like no. It didn't seem like no real sit down place because of how loud the music is. It seemed like it was just like a vibe to grab some bites and some drinks. And he might have just saw like a flyer guy around on the way, grab some flowers along the way. I don't. I don't think it's that big of a. He didn't do too much on the first date there. Like it seemed pretty casual still. I guess it just depends like how much money and how much of the standard or the level you're trying to create when you first meet someone.
Hmm.
Like it seemed like he really wanted to be with her. Like he thought this is someone like he wanted to possibly have a relationship with. So he wanted to put his best foot forward on the first date. So I don't see nothing wrong with him doing what he did there.
I agree with you. I do think that like dinner for a first date is not really something I like to do just because like it's just all conversation. You know what I mean?
What's
Like
the
you
problem with
can't.
that?
I don't
That's what I
necessarily
want it to
like.
be, actually.
No, I gotta warm up to conversation. Like I can't just straight up just jump straight into it. Like oh hey, like I can't do that. So I feel like I would need to do an activity where we can like bounce off of each other or just do
Yeah.
something else.
I like more activities too. Like I'm not opposed to conversation, but typically in a first date, so much of the conversation is like that small talk. I don't always want to small talk for 2 hours. I don't want to like, so where'd you grow up? Oh,
Hmm.
like, wow, where'd you go to high school? That must have been really interesting. Like, I don't necessarily want to do that for 2 hours
Right.
straight. It is nice to have some other things going on that you can also make conversation around. And you also just get to see how this person handles different situations.
Hmm.
um, to me, I think that's what dating is about, is like seeing a person in a lot of different scenarios so you can really understand who they are. Like conversation, you can always say the right answer, but if we're doing an activity or we're playing a game, I can see like, is he competitive? Is he a sore loser? Like how does he problem solve?
Yeah, like if you get mad at putt putt and like you stomping your feet, throwing a tantrum, it's just like, oh, now I know, like you're a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, type of shit like that. So, I want to kind of ask y'all. So, this video, how sincere do y'all feel that like this video is? I mean, it seems very sincere. Seems like he was really tore up about it, really tearing up. His glasses fogging up a little bit. Look like, um, is this real? And do y'all think that this can really get him the girl back?
I think it's definitely sincere. Um, I do. I do personally. I don't think it's gonna grow back though.
Mm-hmm.
Some other women might feel sorry for him. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was in the comments when I saw it on his TikTok, and I was like,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, the right woman is gonna come into your life. She'll appreciate you for who you really are. I definitely left that comment.
Yeah.
um, but the particular woman who like didn't show up, there was a reason already that she wasn't feeling him. Him posting this video is probably not gonna add to it. It's probably unfortunately gonna make her feel like, see, I was
Hmm.
right.
See, I
Like
knew it.
he's crying into his phone on these LA streets. Like, no.
Yeah, it was already over. That like when she didn't show up, and she wanted you to know that, and he didn't
He
take the hint. Like, but he wanted to go on social media and let everyone know how how people are treated these days. Like, it's sick that ladies think they can just do this to guys, show any accountability. Like for real, you're not gonna respond or anything. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I'm putting the effort in. Like, you gotta at least give me the decency to say, hey, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not feeling
Hmm.
you. Like, don't let me make the reservations and show up and then looking like an ass. Now I'm like sad. Like the entire like night after I prepared, like I got ready, probably got a fresh cut. Like I did all that, and
Did
then
he
like
have
I
a fresh
show
cut?
up,
Let me see.
and it's like why'd you allow me to do all this? Like you really just trying to play me at that point. Like it's like showing no accountability.
At least lie to me and be like, "Oh, something came up."
My
Like, don't.
cat said,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Something.
like my cat said, like something like to at least like not responding at all and ghosting. Like even though I've ghosted before, and we can get into that.
Just say you're
It
not
hurts.
interested.
Yeah, like it hurts though. Like I feel like the most hurtful thing is just never hear from somebody again because you'll be like, "Damn, like where they at?" Like it's just talking into an echo chamber, and it's like, especially if they blocked you and the bubbles turn green,
Mm.
and they'd be like, oh, okay, so like now I know what it is. But I don't know why people can't communicate and just be like, "I'm not feeling you." Um,
Who do you think? So you mentioned that you've ghosted women before. Like,
yeah.
who and when do you feel like people owe each other like those conversations? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with having those conversations. I'm not like she shouldn't have just dipped out on him. That's not right. But I think one of the awkward things about dating, especially today, because so many people are like meeting on the apps, like you've never met this person before, you don't really know this person, you don't have any mutual friends, you will never see this person again in life if you don't show up on this date. I think that people have a hard time figuring out like, do I need to actually like communicate with this person what's going on in my life? Do I actually need to have a formal conversation if we go out on one date and then I don't want to see him again? Do I need to tell him that, or can I just not respond to his text and keep it pushing?
Right. Like, if am like, what's the obligation?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think that, I mean, on the human level, I think it's just always good to just say something. Like, I think I've learned my lesson with that, and I think that it's always good to just say how you feel, even if you know like you never go run into this person ever again. You're never gonna see them. You barely remember their name. You don't even know their last name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's fine. I don't have no obligation, but I do think on the human level it's good to say like, I feel this way. Like, you rub me the wrong way here. I'm just not feeling you. You ugly. Whatever it is, like, say that.
Have we ever ghosted anyone? Do we have any experiences like that?
Yes.
And like, why do we do it? No, like,
Um,
go ahead.
I'm just a bad communicator, or I'm not even gonna say I'm a bad communicator. I'm gonna say,
She did something like what we were talking about earlier. Like,
I mean, it's
you
happened
saw her
multiple
place,
times.
her car.
It's happened multiple times. So we gotta pinpoint a specific one. But I would say, like, let's see. So if I was talking about this one girl, let's call her, let's use Rebecca. I think Rebecca might be like the
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like we
she
keep
white.
going back to it.
yeah, the standard name.
Natasha. Okay.
Oh, she was black. It's Black
It can
Rebecca.
still be Rebecca. Yeah, I
It's
know
Black
Black
Rebecca.
Rebecca's.
Yeah,
Like it
okay.
would
Rebecca.
it like
It's been our safe name the past couple episodes now.
is until she Rebecca, like until it's actually Rebecca, and it's gonna be like, all right, we got to change it. Um, so with her, like, and I talked about her on this podcast before. Like, we went out on dates, like we did whatever we did, kissed, all that type of shit. But I, at that point, I just knew how she was feeling. Like she was about, like she was ready for a relationship, and like really wanted to go there. Like really
Mm-hmm.
get to the point where like you cutting off all your people, I'm cutting off all my people, and I wasn't trying to do that for
Y'all
her.
both got hoes.
It wasn't even like that. I didn't. I mean, I'm not a whole haver like that. Like I'm not even like a whole
No,
haver.
I'm just
You
saying,
know
like
what I
that's what
mean?
you said. You said she cut off people. You had to cut off people.
But
I'm just saying what you said. Go, keep going.
I'm saying that in terms of like getting serious into like, okay, like we're really going to be in a relationship, like type shit.
And
Like
how
that's
Yeah, I
could
just
hear
part
you
of
you.
it.
how could you tell that she was there?
That's a good question. Just the way the conversations we were having, like the time we were spending together, like what the things that we were doing, it's like we like obviously that's where it's going to get to at some point, right? So it's not even necessarily that I felt like that, but I'm just saying like we have been kicking it for a good time, and it's like, all right, I don't want to keep leading her on and thinking like this is what I want from her, so I just stopped responding. I think we were supposed to hang out one day, and like I just never text back, and then like I kept getting the text like, where you at? Like, are you really not gonna respond? And ooh, and all
Damn.
that type of shit. And it was
Yeah,
just
you
like,
were like, nope, I'm really not gonna respond.
I'm not. And it's because I try
So
to
she
make it
was the
seem,
dude in that situation.
Yeah, she was the one who messed it
um
up.
pretty much, pretty
Like
much.
she got
And
there and
yeah, honestly, I don't know. I might be putting too much on it. Like maybe she didn't really keep texting me like, oh, where you at? I know she did, like maybe a couple of times, but
A couple of
you let
times
her
is a
go there.
lot. Yeah.
and
When it's
I mean,
calling
how
you.
was when you've been talking to a nigga for a couple of months and like he just don't respond when you're supposed to do something? Like, yeah, you gonna text a couple times. Like, I get where she coming from, right? But I would say why I did it, just to wrap it up, is because I
Hold
didn't
on,
want
hold
to
on. Let's
communicate.
pause. Let's pause real quick for a second.
Okay.
So, okay, so you were dating this person like a long time. It sounds like, or at least
Not a long
over a
time.
month. Like y'all went
Yeah,
on
definitely
multiple
over.
dates.
Yeah, been to her
You
crib.
knew, you knew, like after a certain amount of time of hanging out with her, that she wasn't the one for you. So you made that decision. Would you say?
That is correct.
Okay, and you
Mm.
just couldn't tell her that, pretty much, because you knew that she had true feelings for you that wanted to take it to another step, but you wanted to keep it at what did you want from her, like exactly?
Not even.
Because
It's
you
not
went on
even.
those dates and like you did that. Like, so what exactly were you? What did you want from it, and like why'd you even go? Like all those days and
I
stuff.
mean, it's not the. Let me put it like this, right? Is like I feel like it's a time limit, like that you can keep kicking it with somebody until it gets serious. And I felt like I was just trying to hedge my bets and like try to get out of it before it got to that point. Because at that point, I didn't want anything serious. So that's really what it was. Now
And did you not want anything serious at all, or you just didn't want something serious with her?
that's a good question. I don't know. Like back then, was it? It might have just been with her. I think maybe she read me the wrong way about something. Um,
I'm just wondering, like, how early on was it really in the beginning, or did you just like
mm,
keep going on the dates and just because you were bored, really? I mean, let's keep it real.
I mean, I was in my
Like
mama
you just wanted
basement,
something to
so
do. Like,
I was in my mama basement, so I was definitely bored. Like I remember the day when I ghosted her. Like, I was definitely on my in the basement of my mama couch.
yeah, I thought you definitely could have just been like,
Oh,
we could
shit.
just be friends. Like, I don't know. Maybe she would have still been like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. But
We could have
I
probably
don't
been
know.
friends. We probably
Like, just
could
be
have
like,
been
hey,
good
let's just
friends.
be friends. And
Yeah, I
but
was
I don't know.
young
It
and
doesn't even
dumb.
sound like you even had the conversation of whether she even likes you. You just made that assumption and just you came to all the conclusions yourself without.
No, she liked me. I ain't gonna say she wanted a relationship with me, but she definitely liked me a little bit, at least.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
I'll
cool.
say that. So like I will say that though. Like it's not that I knew that she wanted the relationship, but I just felt like before we even got to that point, I ghosted her because it was just like I don't even want to get to the
Yeah,
point where it's like now we meeting families, we doing this, we doing that. Like I gotta answer to you, you gotta
it
answer
got
to
that
me.
far.
Like I'm saying until
I thought you
before
don't
it
even
got
get
that
to like the
far.
parent part until like you in the actual relationship. Then you be like, oh yeah, now we're doing that.
But I'm saying before it
Um,
even got to that part, I was thinking ahead, like,
Like
okay,
way out into the future.
yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
okay, I don't want this with her. Not
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, keep it all for you the entire time. Anyone
yes,
else or
please.
like um hmm have I
So yeah, the question is, have you ghosted somebody before?
ghosted someone? Yeah, I definitely have, but it was for like just immature reasons. It wasn't anything like yeah. That's pretty much what it was.
Okay.
It was
You ain't really say nothing there, but okay.
no, I did. I said it was for immature reasons. It was just like I'm just like nah, I'm good. And
You
just
don't want to expand on that? Like, what was the reason?
I don't know. They just didn't. I don't know. It was just a lot. It was a lot
Okay.
going on, and
All right,
it
Jermaine.
was it wasn't what I expected. So
All right.
yeah,
Jermaine, do you have any input on this?
Yeah, so kind of like we were talking about earlier, or like I mentioned, to me, it's tricky. It kind of is dependent on like how deep we are. So, have I ever like ghosted somebody I was like actually seeing? No. Like if we've been going out on dates for multiple days, going out for a while, even going out on one date, and I don't like you, I'll tell you. And I've just
Mhm.
said, hey, like no thanks, I'm good. Um, what I have done though is like two things. Um, giving my number out to guys at like the club, and then they text me the next day and not responded, which to me I don't think is that bad, but definitely their responses let me know that they feel some type of way, because I'll get called all type of names after.
For
Which is
real.
always funny to me because I'm like, you don't know me. You met me one time for like 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Like, I don't see why this is so deep.
I hate when women
Um,
do that though. It's like, why? Just give me a fake number, or just like don't give me your number.
really?
Yes, it's just annoying because it's like I thought we had something.
Oh, that's what they'll text will say. It's funny. The first message will be like, "Hey, beautiful. It was so great meeting you last night. I can't wait to hear your lovely voice. Can we talk later today?" And
Yeah,
I won't respond. And then, like, 5 hours later, it's like, "Fuck you, bitch."
right.
Like,
Exactly.
whoa.
No, he coming down off the alcohol. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I've definitely done that.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing I have done, I don't know if I would consider this ghosting, not if you guys can tell me, is like I've gone out with some dudes before, maybe gone on like a date or two, have said, "Hey, this isn't it," blah 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 blah, and they won't leave me alone. Like they'll just keep texting to the point I just have to not respond, and I'm like, I tried to do the polite thing and tell you like, no, this isn't it, and they just won't accept it. So I don't know if that's technically ghosting or not, but I'm like, I'm not gonna keep having this conversation with you. If I told you I'm off you, I'm off you.
No, I think you were a good person there in that situation because you communicated like this is not it, and they for whatever reason didn't take it as they needed to. I guess so. Yeah, I won't consider that ghosting. Um, I do think that I don't know. I told y'all why I did it. I think that's usually why people do it though. Like just because they can't communicate or they don't have the respect for the person to like really tell them how they feel. They just feel like whatever. Like I'm just gonna move on and I'm never gonna see him again. And then like it's easy. Like that's the easy thing to do is just not respond or just block them. Like it's the
Yeah.
easiest thing to do.
I do think that's the one thing that's interesting about this guy's video is like in the comments, everybody's like, this girl is so horrible. Blah, 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 blah. And in my mind, I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's sad that he's sad. Don't get me wrong. And she should have handled it better. But like, people do this every day. Like, men
Every
and
day.
women every day ghost people.
Hmm.
So his story is just one of a million examples. So either we all got to commit to not ghosting people, or all accept like this is kind of part of dating, is like sometimes people might just fall off.
So you don't think we gotta just learn how to have the awkward conversations?
Well, like I said,
Yeah.
I haven't ghosted people, but both you two have. So
Hmm.
I'll leave that for you guys to answer. Like, do you feel like do you feel like it was just for me to ghost people, or do you feel like, okay, yeah, now, nah, that's not cool?
It's definitely
I
not
would
cool.
say, yeah, it's
Go
not
ahead.
cool. Like I would go ahead and say that too.
At what point did you both realize, like, after you did it, like, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that?
Oh, it was after the first time meeting her. Like I was just like, yeah, never again. Like
No, but I mean, like, after you ghosted her, like, what point were you like, dang, like, that was that was messed up?
actually, I mean, I don't feel bad about it for real. I don't. It's not that I feel bad about it, but I feel like I shouldn't do it. Like I shouldn't
Yeah.
have done it. Maybe I could have did that a better way, but yeah, it's just a thought in my brain. Like I should have did it a better way, but it's like yeah, that's the way it was done. Either way, it was still the same result for me and what the one that I
At,
wanted.
at the end of the day, yeah.
So
Like you still ain't never talked to her again.
yeah, so
Oh
I don't
man.
need to put that much like, but yeah, I ain't
Hmm.
shit. But next time, I guess I just know.
I'll say for me, what made me realize it is when you start missing the person that you ghost, like that shit really hits you, and you be like, "Damn, I shouldn't have did that shit." Like, damn, I really miss Rebecca. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all don't understand. Like to this day, I be like, "Where's she at?" Like this day, where is she?
Do you think you could get
Uh,
over the ghosting? Like, you think you could get out of the ghosting box
I have to at this point because it's just not. It's not. It's not being a good
with her?
person. Oh, that's what you are you saying, like, could I
Yeah, like, do you
reconcile?
think that, yeah, you could like pop back up like, hey, sorry, I got a new phone. Never saw your text. How are you?
No, I can't do that shit like that. If it was more recent, I might try that. But nah, I think I did her so dirty. It's really impossible. Like we was really vibing, like hella hard. Like we was super vibing. And it was just radio silence for me one day. And I think that's something that you can't. I feel like if I tried to come back, that would be selfish for me to be like, damn, like I really missed you. I'm sorry for what I did. Like that's selfish to me to even bring my, because I don't know how that hurt her. That might have hurt her feelings hella bad. So to even bring that shit back up to her, like
It'll be
I feel like,
weird.
yeah, I feel like it would be selfish for me to do that. So I just got to move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I would say mines were more like when I initially meet you and you're just trying to set up like our future. I feel like
Mm,
that was a couple times where I was just like, I didn't talk to him ever again. Like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, and I think we should like just like planning out a future for us and like things and so many things. I'm like, we just met, like it's day one. Like it was just really weird to me. I was there confused. I'm like,
so you talking about like marriage, kids type shit?
nah, like okay. So one was
Like,
like, oh,
oh, let's go to Hawaii in a couple months or
no,
like
it was even
vacation and stuff like
more.
that.
It was even more deeper than that. Like it was more than vacation. It was like, oh, I'm gonna go and finish, become a doctor, finish doctor school, and uh, then we could go out and be together and do this and
Mm.
like it was like planning a future. It was very like just. I was just
Whoa.
listening. I was just like, what? I'm like, whoa. I had no type of control. And then like the other time was just like the girl was just she was just trying to be like, oh yeah, like we can go together, we can go do. I just didn't really fuck with her for real, but like,
Just to keep it real, like
yeah, like we can go out and do this and this. I was just like,
yeah, like
no,
nah, not with you.
no, exactly. It was just like, nah, not with you. I'm not,
No,
I'm not gonna do that.
nah, but I think
But
doubling back on the ghost is really like fucked up. Like you can't do that. You can't double back on the ghost.
nah, you can't do that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But
You already made your decision.
I hate that shit. Like I'm sorry, Rebecca. All right. Anyway, let me let's see. Should we go ahead and end it off here? I think we done had a good conversation so far. So if you made it this far, we appreciate you for listening so much. But yeah, this has been the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.